everyone, welcome back to my channel, Diamonds and Washi. My name is Katie, and today I am back with this week's WIP and Chat. So if you're new, first off, of course, welcome. I really am glad that you're here and hope you enjoy today's video. WIP stands for Work in Progress. In this case, I'm going to be working on a diamond painting project. And chat just means that we're going to spend some time hanging out and chatting together today. Just about, whatever is coming to mind. Stuff that's been going on this week, and lots of diamond painting stuff, YouTube stuff, all that good stuff. So feel free to grab a project and a snack, cup of coffee, settle in. We can spend a little time getting some stuff done together. I'm going to see if I can make some progress on one of my many diamond painting WIPs. I am looking forward to updating you on how this whole working on tons of WIPs all of a sudden, how I'm feeling about that whole process. Let me tell you about what I am working on and with, and you will see lots of links in the description box of this video, including links to the shops where you can check out what I am working with today. So first off, the kit I'm working on is called Star Sailor. It is from the Creativity Squirrel, and the artist is Tony Kaileo. Apologies if I'm mispronouncing that one. So this is the original artwork. It is a pretty big diamond painting, and I am just starting on the second row. So I divided this into, I think, 5 kind of large rows. I completed this row, and then the second one, we're gonna have like part of her hand and some of the space over here. We'll see if it's confetti heavy or not. I see a little bit, but we'll get into like this little section right here. See how far we get. Accessories wise, this pen, I'm having a huge brain fart. I actually cannot remember if this is from Chroma Diamond Art or if this is from Peachy Keen Pens, both of which are fantastic pen shops. I will link both of them, and I am so sorry. Normally my memory is better when it comes to where my pens are from. But I just am having a whole, I hope it's not a totally different shop. I'll see if I can find out. And either way, I'll at least link Chroma and Peachy Keen both in the description box if you want to check them out. But this pen is just very pretty, and it like matched the color palette of this artwork pretty well. And then the tray is from Firefly Diamond Art. This is the Ignite Plus. I don't know if they have this exact shape, but I just saw recently that they consolidated some of their styles a little bit, but I think they probably still have one that is this general shape that's like real long and thin. So I want to be able to multi-place. I'm going to use this one. It has the little switch on the side that you pull out, and that, closes and opens for the spout. This is a spot you could put trash drills if you wanted to, and all that good stuff. Wax, I'm going to be using Patty Wax in my single placer. This is the scent Just Peachy, which looks like it's barely been used. I'm pretty sure this is 5 years old now. We're going to use it. And then putty, I haven't used any Tiny Creations putty in a minute, so we're going to use this one in my multi-placer. This is in the scent Tropic Like It's Hot, which was a scent that they did for the Crafter's Paradise Diamond Painting Retreat last summer. So let me go ahead and clean out my pen tips, and we'll get fresh putty and wax on board, and we will go ahead and get started on this. Don't mind Adam in the background. He is gaming and apparently coughing a little bit. So, okay. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing really well. How's your week been so far? Or the start to your week, I should say. As I'm filming this, it is Sunday evening, which most of the time is when I am sitting down to record my WIP and Chats. It's a nice way to get to the end of the week. I need a flat surface. Sorry, more firm flat surface off screen. Here we go. It is, the end of a weekend, getting ready to shift into a new week. And WIP and Chats on Sunday nights just sort of let me transition my brain from weekend to week mode. Get to just sort of debrief the weekend and all that good stuff. So pretty uneventful weekend here for the kids and I. Adam had a busy weekend, but don't bark, don't do it. I hear the neighbor's dog going, and every once in a while that'll set our dog Scout off. But he's so ecstatic that Adam is home after a busy weekend filming that he's all over Adam. And nothing too crazy planned for the week ahead, but we'll catch up and we'll talk about it for sure. So, hey, Go drink your water. Can you tell, these WIP and Chats, we keep it very, pretty informal here. I'm just getting all situated so I can go ahead and start diamond painting. This particular kit, I'm really looking forward to completing. And it's been good to work on as well because this particular small shop is new to me in the sense that I haven't actually completed one of their kits yet. I've worked with some of their other products and I've unboxed a couple of their kits here on my channel, but I hadn't actually worked on one. And this particular kit had been on my kits I want to work on list for a few years now. I was starting to feel really almost guilty that I hadn't gotten to it yet. So I just knew at the start of 2026, I said, no matter what, this kit is getting worked on. So hold on a second. Let me pause till my neighbor's dogs are settled. Well, that was fast. She just let them in immediately. If you guys were around like a year ago, do you remember the werewolf dog? All it took was just one very politely worded note to our HOA, and immediately the neighbors, they immediately took care of it, and there's not been any like awkwardness or anything. I don't know if they guessed it was us. I really don't know, but anyway, I had a whole complex about that. If you weren't here, if you're newer, so my next door neighbors, their dog, they would leave their dog outside all the time. And they're such sweet people. Honestly, they really, really are. But they would leave their dog outside all the time, and he would just howl and howl and howl. And it was, I mean, I started just sort of checking the time to see, and they would leave him out overnight, and he would howl until like 4:00 in the morning. It had gotten a little bit excessive, and I unfortunately am so non-confrontational that I wasn't going to say anything directly to our neighbors. I just decided to go through our HOA instead. And I don't know if that makes me a huge coward or not, but I just thought, I don't know. I don't know how to have this conversation otherwise. So I'm just going to go this route. Anyway. But yeah, it hasn't been a problem in like a year. So I'm just thankful for that because I don't know. It was rough. Anyway. So yes, I'm really happy to be working on this kit, and I've been so interested to see just what my experience is like. And I completed a row on this kit earlier in the week. I've been rotating through all of my active WIPs, and my experience so far has been a little bit mixed. So I want to see how the different colors behave as I keep moving through the kit and working with different colors, because it has 80 colors. It's a very, very colorful kit. And some of the drills they just sit very tight, like very, very, very tight. I keep getting putty in the glue. I like this putty a lot actually, but because it's fresh putty, it's not perfectly leveled off. I keep dipping it in the glue. So yeah, the drill field is kind of tight with some of these drill colors to the point that there are a couple of colors that keep almost wanting to pop. So I'm curious to see. I'm going to go back over and look at this now that it's been rolled for a few days and see if any of the drills actually popped off. I'm hoping not. The drills aren't visibly different in terms of size and shape, so I couldn't necessarily tell just from looking at them in the bag. There's not like trash. It's just that some of them, it just fit really tight. I do like the color palette. It's interesting to see it come to life because sometimes the drill colors are slightly different from the symbols, the color of the symbols on the canvas. And I'm curious to see what the overall, like especially as I get in towards her face and stuff, if it looks a little bit brighter. Towards the bottom, the colors definitely are more muted, but that matches the original artwork where that part is in shadow. So I don't know. I'm very intrigued. It's always interesting to be trying out a new to me shop and actually be putting diamonds down. And yeah, it's always an interesting experience and lots of different things I'm trying to take note of and pay attention to and think, okay, if it were me watching a review on a new to me shop, what are the sorts of things that I would want to know? And that's the kind of thing I'm trying to pay attention to so I can report back on. I am not sure how she advertises it, but I'll have to go back and double check. My guess is that these are hand touched up. I don't think they're fully hand rendered personally, but I could be wrong about that. But I think there are some hand touch ups. There's a lot of confetti in some places that sort of reminds me of a computer charting, but then there are areas that look like they have been cleaned up a bit in a way that if it were a pure computer chart, I don't think it would be. So, anyway, but yeah, so far so good, but I'm only one row into it, so it's hard saying exactly what my final thoughts will be. This kit is available in their shop, though I think, did I see her recently post about potentially having delayed shipping? So make sure you're just reading any like shop announcements and stuff like that so you know what to expect. But this specific kit, I did check before I started on it, and it is still a kit that you can get from the Creativity Squirrel shop. Do be aware if you shop there, if you're someone that tries to avoid AI artwork, they do have several pieces that are AI. I don't remember if she lists disclaimers with them, but as far as I am aware, I don't believe that this one is AI. I don't think this artist uses generative AI in general. But of course, I have made mistakes before, and I will, of course, apologize and own it if I'm wrong about this one. Yeah, so I have been working on a bunch of different WIPs at once, which is very, very, very unusual for me. I put up a video earlier this week that was talking about the 26 for 26 challenge and how I was approaching it and some of the kits that I had decided to start off the challenge with. So you would have seen this one in that video with the row completed, actually, if you wanted to get a look at kind of the whole thing with me sort of step back. You can see I had to move these a little bit. Oh, let me adjust the focus. I just realized. Like I really needed to make sure that these were perfectly centered. Otherwise they weren't quite going to fit. So I keep stumbling over my words tonight. I'm not sure what's going on. I think it's like a rainy, cozy, lazy day. So maybe I'm just feeling very chill or something. So yes, this week have been working on a total of 7 different WIPs, 6 new ones, and then the one that I brought into this whole challenge process. The way that I decided to approach it was 1 row at a time. And so I'd complete a row on one kit and then put that one aside and pull out a different kit and the canvas and the drills. And that has been so much more fun than I expected. I was worried that once I got into it, that it wouldn't be as fun as kitting up was. Like I started to worry, oh no, was I just excited at the prospect of kitting up a bunch of different kits? But if I go to actually work on them, it's not going to be as fun. I'm relieved that that is not the case. I actually have been enjoying being able to switch between WIPs. And I don't feel like it's slowed me down momentum-wise. We'll see if I feel like that changes over time. But at least for now, I am just like, okay, I do a row and then I get to switch to something new. And I don't know if I'll stay with the same order going forward. If I'll go, okay, well, actually I already broke that now that I think about it. Because when I started the challenge and had all my kits kitted up, the first one I did a row on was Semblance, the Margaret Morales kit from DIY Moonshop. And then I think I worked on this one next. And I just finished the first rotation on these kits. And I think I knew I wanted to work on this one specifically during a WIP and Chat. I wanted to make sure I didn't miss working on this one during a WIP and Chat. Particularly because this is a company I've wanted to work on for a while. So that was my reasoning behind it. So I'll probably, not stay in a strict order with it. I'll just sort of see what I feel like working on. I like being able to alternate between squares and rounds. I like being able to just sort of pick the one that I'm in the mood to move on to next. And it's so funny to me even still knowing that a year ago, heck, 6 months ago, if I tried having multiple WIPs, I don't know. I just wasn't enjoying it. And instead, what I would do is I would act like only one was actually kitted up. And I would just end up focusing on that one kit till it was done and then move on to the next. So, yeah, I don't know. But I'm okay with sort of just embracing something really different. And that's why I completely empathize with many of you who commented on my 26 for 26 video saying, yeah, this is not for me. This does not sound fun. This sounds stressful and overwhelming. I just want you to know that I see you and I was you. And I probably will be you again. This is a really crazy kind of tangent for me, and I'm embracing it. I'm really embracing it, and I think it's going to be helpful for me, and that it's good timing in a lot of ways because I have some kits on the way to me. I actually have a couple in hand already from some other new to me small shops. And so I think I might use this as an opportunity to be able to show you more new small shops more quickly, especially if I do like an unboxing video and I want to like show you a section with a little bit of drills down without completing the whole thing first, then I can. And it's not a huge deal if I add that to my WIP rotation. That's kind of what I have in my head. But we'll see how that works out in practice over the coming months. But I'm excited about the possibilities here. I'm excited about the new shops that I'm going to get to show you guys and hoping it's something that you'll find helpful and fun too. And I've really actually been enjoying seeing the different videos and posts and stuff that other people have been doing, talking about this challenge and what their personal take on it is going to be. And I feel like the general sentiment that I've seen from just about everyone that I've watched a video on, that's like done a video on this or has talked about it, has been just everyone is so laid back about it. It's just like, hey, I think this is how I'm going to have it look for me. And everyone's like, yeah, that's great. I'm so glad. Like, love that you found a way to make it work for you, that in a way that sounds fun for you. I don't know, the energy of just being relaxed and supportive and excited to be doing this all together. I'm kind of digging the kumbaya of it all, honestly. Okay, I think we finished that color. So you could see like the way that they did the color changes of the gradients. It's just, is that called dithering? Is that the correct name for it? I know Lindsay from Emeralds and Fairy Lights told me what the phrase was once, and she's used it before on her channel. I'm just blanking on whether that's even correct. I think that's the word. Anyway, we're going to keep on keeping on. Since this kit has 80 colors in it, I did decide to organize the diamonds by symbol type as opposed to just leaving them in DMC order. So I have all of the colors that are letters together, all the ones that are numbers together, and then different kinds of symbols. Like here's where all the arrows are. Here's where all of the, I don't know, like the ones with dots are and that kind of thing. Anyway, I appreciated just generally all of the very nice feedback on my 26 for 26 video also, because it was, honest to goodness, very spur of the moment. I was originally planning to do an unboxing of a Lettuce Stitch kit diamond painting that was sent to me. And then I had set up, I was going to record that video and just went, yeah, how about something else? I think I actually want to do a video on my 26 for 26 challenge plans. And so I just turned on the camera and went and just thought I'll be makeup free. I really could use to wash my hair kind of thing, like living on dry shampoo and a prayer. And it's fine. Let's just talk about it. And yeah, I don't know. I appreciate so much that you guys have never made me feel self-conscious about my appearance. That was always a big fear of mine and one reason I never wanted to show my face. It took me years before I was showing my face on my channel, literal years, because I just thought I can take criticism about my voice or about various things with my approach and stuff, but I would have had bless you. I would have had a very difficult time if people just got mean about my face, like, or the way that I looked. I just, like, I had enough of that in high school, like, and middle school. Like, no, thank you. That's not a thing that we're going to be doing on the internet here. But yeah, so I really stumbling over my words way to say that I appreciate that you guys have never made me feel weird about showing my face on camera. Anyway, let's talk about other things. 26 for 26, I feel like is going well. I'm living my best life and enjoying it. And I know that Summer with the Masters is coming up soon. I finally got my announcement video up for that one. You guys could take a look at if you want the details. But the long and short of it, the long story short of it really, is that it's going to look like previous years. It's going to be here on my channel in June and July. I'll do some videos with some giveaways, and it's all about that classic artwork. And I am still deciding on what hypothetical John Wayne Waterhouse piece I want to work on for this summer. I have a couple like mock-ups on a couple that I'm looking at, and hoping that I'll be able to get one in on time to actually work on during the event, because it's a tradition I don't want to break. But I procrastinate way too much. You know what I should have done? Because these are fitting really tight. What I was doing, I had already forgotten. Some bigger color blocked sections in the first row, I was like having, and I've never really had to do this before, but I was essentially checkerboard multi-placing. Let me show you what I mean first. Okay, so let's say I've done this row. I can do it for the rest of this section. Hopefully it'll work. And then what I'm going to do is, instead of placing the row right next to that one, I'm instead going to do the next one over. And I'm going to keep skipping a line in between each. And that way it's like I can make sure I'm really lining up and centering these lines. And then I'm going to go in and fill in. And the reason that this does, I feel like, make a difference is because the way that I was doing this and just pushing them in is I can still gradually end up shifted over too much this direction. But by checkerboarding it, that minimizes, I don't know how. It could just be like an optical illusion or something, or I don't know. But this minimizes the overall shift. They still really crunch in quite snugly, but this seems to help at least somewhat. So I'm finding myself having to do this, which again is not something I feel like I've had to do on other kits before. This is kind of a new thing for me. Anyway, so Summer with the Masters happening here, June, July, and hope to see you guys there. I hope it's going to be a very fun, chill summer event. Okay, we're going to go back in and fill in. Got too many. And then, yes, that one fit okay. And then I'm even going to go in and I'm going to kind of alternate which ones I fill in. I'm not going to immediately go right here. I'm actually going to skip over a couple. So I make sure that like these are really solid. I don't know if you guys have run into issues like this before. Is this the kind of strategy that you might try? This can also help with just generally lining up your drills a little bit better if you're finding like you're having a hard time getting your drills to line up really straight or something like that. This can be one approach to it. Oh, I grabbed one too extra. Oh, see, this is looking like tight up and down too. Sorry, you guys. I'm so distracted tonight. I cannot keep my thoughts straight at all. I apologize. Okay. We'll get there. So yes. Okay. Summer with the Masters, all that good stuff. And before we know it, it's going to be time for drills and chills. Yeah. This is what happens. We get towards the second half of the year and it just starts to fly. Everything just goes so fast. We're less than 2 months out from the last day of school for the kids. And that's like, I can't wrap my brain around that at all either. Yeah. So anyway, what else? Stash it. Oh my gosh. Yes. Stash and Chat, you guys. That was like almost a whole week ago. And so I had forgotten kind of that we hadn't really talked about it in my WIP and Chat last week because It hadn't actually gone up yet. But yes, the video that I was teasing last week in my WIP and Chat was indeed a stash and chat over on Lisette's channel with Lisette Crafts and Tells. That had been in the works for a while, and decided that this would be a good month for it, just with some different milestones that were landing this month. And oops, I need to open this up. And it was just such a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful time. I loved getting to sit down and talk with her. I think I've really only done this one other time. I got to chat with Michaela over on Michaela Renee on her channel. We did like a little interview series that I look back and I'm like, did I ever remember to post that on my community tab? That was at least a year. It's well over a year ago now. And it's really fun when I get to do that. It doesn't often work out just because my schedule tends to be kind of nutty, but it's always just such a treat. And I was so grateful that Lisette so graciously, invited me to join her for that. And you never know sometimes. It's like, oh, is someone... I didn't think this about Lisette because she seems like an incredibly genuine person. But you're like, well, I haven't actually ever talked to this person, face to face before. We, DM'd and stuff, but I just thought, I wonder, is there going to be anything that feels awkward or anything like that? And it just wasn't at all. And that was really, really, really lovely. She's such a sweet and genuine person. And I love the different challenges and ideas that she brings to the diamond painting community. And I think that she really, truly is such a breath of fresh air in so many ways. And we just had the nicest time getting to sit down and talk. So that is up on her channel. I did post the link on my community tab, and I'll try to post the link in the description of this video if you guys are interested. Yeah, we could have just talked for hours about anything and everything, but time difference, man. She had to go feed her family dinner. I was like, oh, well, my kids are still at school. It's morning here, so I'm going to go enjoy a little more downtime. Yeah, it was a lot of fun, and I'm enjoying just her Refresh Your Stash challenge in general. And it goes really well with the 26 for 26 challenge. I feel like there are a lot of ways that it's like you can use this as a chance to get through some of your older kits while still having some of your newer kits going at the same time. And yeah, I think they're a match made in heaven. And some of the kits that I am working on for 26 for 26 absolutely work for Refresh Your Stash. Even things like the DIY Moon Shop kit. It's like eventually I'd like to move most of those out of my stash. But yeah, so those work too. You are trash. The drill, not you. Oh, on the other side of this, on the other side of the screen. Yeah, so Stash and Chat is up, and that's what I was teasing last week. Let's see, what else have I been up to? What are some other just sort of fun little updates and stuff? So it's been, like I said, a very relaxed and chill weekend here this weekend. We had finally some cool weather for a change. I really just thrive when it's not hot outside. I can wear comfier clothes. I feel more relaxed. When I'm hot and sweaty, it's like that's all I can think about. It's just like it's hot, and I hate being hot, and it's hot, and I hate being hot. It's really obnoxious. So I've been enjoying this really nice, cool weather, and I do apologize, though, for those of you that have been dealing with some really awful weather lately, and I hope that you guys have been staying safe. My mom was saying that did she wake up to it, or was she already awake? She kind of wakes up in the middle of the night sometimes. That the tornado sirens went off in my hometown this week, which is really kind of scary for sure. So as far as I know, everyone is fine. But yeah, hearing lots about like tornado weather and stuff, which that was just my absolute worst fear growing up in Ohio. I had a really, really deathly fear of tornadoes never watched Twister or anything like that because I was very, very afraid of tornadoes. Now I live in California. We don't have tornadoes here. We have earthquakes, but they just don't feel, I don't know. It's different. Not the same intense kind of fear that I feel like tornadoes bring. But yeah, just been enjoying the very cool, pleasant weather here that's a lot more seasonally appropriate than the really hot weather we'd been having lately. And it was the one thing that I did have going on this weekend that did get a little chaotic was I had my monthly live stream for my Patreon and YouTube memberships members. I have a live stream tier, and it's always kind of interesting to see how that goes because I always do them on the weekends, and 9 times out of 10 the kids are around. But Adam was busy this weekend and wasn't home, so I was trying to do this live stream while also just kiddos decided to be like kids often do. They're totally fine until you have something that you need to do. And Micah was he was in rare form. Now, people that are in these, streams and stuff, like they're always so incredibly kind and supportive and very understanding. Just like, it's fine. This is very chill. We're just hanging out. Get up and do whatever you got to do. We'll be here. But I always feel like a little bit flustered and a little bit like, I'm sorry. I'm trying to, of course, like be a really good parent and stuff, but also I want to be a good hostess and everything. And it always works out, but I always feel a little bit like, okay. Even though I tried to make sure everyone was fed, we played a lot together, and it was like talked through with them, like, okay, this is what I have to do and all that good stuff. But Micah it was just one of those days. So that is what it is. But all in all, it really was, I feel like, a nice weekend. It was very relaxing, and Connor was not too grumpy about the fact that tomorrow's a school day. He was kind of like, okay, get ready for bed. I'm like, oh, he must have felt like he had a nice relaxing weekend. So I'm not going to complain about that. Last week on Monday, I had my first physical therapy appointment, which I was really, really eagerly anticipating to see, okay, what's going on with my shoulder/arm. And the short version is that she thinks that it's an injury to the deltoid muscle, which is in my upper arm. She doesn't think that there's a tear because there doesn't seem to be any loss of strength, among other things. She did a bunch of tests to test range of motion and strength and this, that, and the other thing. I don't know. And so she also seemed to be reassured that there was a specific event that I could point to as having kicked all of this off, which was back in November, December, when I was trying to screw a mounting bracket for a new smoke detector into the ceiling. And my lazy butt did not want to go all the way downstairs out to the garage to get the power tools to screw this into the ceiling. Instead, I decided to just use the screwdriver that I had and try to muscle it into the ceiling. Why I didn't have the power tools in the first place? Because I had bought the same exact brand and what looked like the same exact style of smoke detector, and thought that I was just going to be able to take the old one off the old mounting bracket and be able to put the new one right back on. I was able to reuse one of the holes because there were two spots that had to be screwed in, and the second one did not line up with the new mounting bracket. And I was like, I'm up here, I'm like on the ladder and all, like I just want to, or on the chair, I was on a folding chair or something, because I didn't want to haul the ladder all the way up the stairs if I could help it. Look, laziness led to this injury is what I'm saying. Like, I was trying to be productive and get stuff done around the house, but there were still ways that I wanted to be lazy about it, and I'm paying for it now. So anyway, physical therapist seemed happy and reassured that there seems to have been an incident. This didn't come out of nowhere. She said that she thinks that some of the frozen shoulder-esque symptoms, like a couple of those that I'm having, She thinks that that may actually be coming from some of the ways I've been trying to protect that injury, like compensated for it basically. And like a lot of the exercises she was having me do, she had to keep being like, you have to relax that shoulder. I didn't realize how much I was like hunching to protect it, like when I was doing those kinds of movements and whatnot. So that was really interesting. So she didn't specify, like she didn't name the injury. She didn't say like, oh, I think it's a strain or whatever. And I don't know if like that's just normal. All she seemed to do that I remember her mentioning was identifying the specific muscle. So it's like the outer, oh, I have it zoomed in so you can't really see, but it's like the outer upper arm basically is where that injury really seems to be located. So she is optimistic that with exercises and physical therapy that we can hopefully get it, better, but we'll kind of just have to see. It's never great when you go in and they go to assess you and they're like puzzled. Their initial reaction is, well, I don't know. This is kind of weird. Like there's something that's kind of unusual about it. And there was a little bit of that from her where she was like, well, this is kind of weird or this is kind of strange. I'm like, I need my shoulder injury to not be a pick me here. Like just let it be a run of the mill, whatever, like easy thing to figure out. Like I'm not looking to be a high maintenance person. Like let's figure out, let's fix it and we can move on with our day. But here's what was kind of nutty about it. I'm using kind of fresh putty to place ABs, and this is a huge mistake. I'm going to put these ABs away, and we'll come back to these later when I don't have super fresh putty. Because this is not going well for me. I'm not going to sit here and make myself struggle when I can just... There's no reason I have to do these right now. We'll come back to it later. Anyway, the one thing about this visit, though, was that as part of it, she did a like therapeutic massage, which when I went to physical therapy in the fall, that physical therapist also did some therapeutic massage. But let me tell you what, this is a different therapist. Like this tiny little lady who's also like third trimester pregnant, and like I'm only gonna have a couple of sessions with her before she goes on maternity leave and I have to go see a different therapist that she's recommending to me. It's great. This tiny little lady, I kid you not, left me with visible bruises on my upper arm from the massage that she did. And it was 15 or 20 minutes in this appointment. And I was doing my best to like, I'm not going to be a wimp here. And I'm not going to be like, oh, ow, like this hurts, like being a big baby about it. But like she was really just like getting in there. At one point I just said, ow, I'm trying not to chicken out here, but like that hurts. And she said, oh yeah, I would have chickened out by now. And then she just kept going. Like she said that and then she didn't stop. She just was like, oh yeah, I probably would have. I just thought, I don't know what this means. Am I supposed to be telling you to please? Like, I don't know if I should be asking her to stop or just powering through. And I'm just thinking, I want to power through. She's the expert. I would like to do whatever we need to get this injury on the mend, right? And I just could not believe it the next day. Adam had like reached out to like touch my shoulder and I jumped out of my skin. I flinched so hard and he was like, are you okay? And I said, remember how I told you yesterday about that massage that the physical therapist did and how painful it was? I just rolled up my sleeve and showed him. He was like, oh my gosh, you literally bruised. And I said, yeah, I did. I said, I don't know if that's what's supposed to have happened. I'll bring it up to her tomorrow, or my next appointment rather. And yeah, I said, so I guess, I mean, I wasn't just being a wimp when I said that it hurt, but I don't know, you guys. But here's the thing. Between that therapeutic massage, wait. Okay, that's correct. Between the massage and the like 4 exercises that she had me do in this less than an hour amount of time, just from that, I, at least then and there, had noticeably greater range of motion than I had at the beginning of the appointment. So that also makes me go, okay, we're on the right track here. Like, this is the kind of thing that I do my exercises. And whatever she needs to do in these appointments, as far as like massage or whatever goes, sure. Like I would like to be healing, and I'll do what needs to happen, whatever needs to happen to make that happen. But yeah, I just thought that was really, it's like amusing. Like this little tiny little lady left bruises all over my upper arm. So good thing it's been cool enough I haven't been wearing short sleeves or like tank tops, sleeveless shirts. So yeah, I have another appointment this week, and then I have like a couple weeks off because they wanted me to go to the first couple appointments with this therapist before she goes on maternity leave and have her diagnose the injury and then refer me to someone else in the practice that like specializes in whatever injury it ended up being. And so the problem is the person she wants me to see next isn't available for a couple of weeks. So I thought, well, put me on the cancellation list, and it's fine. So that's the update with regards to physical therapy. I am hopeful that this will help and that I'm not going to need additional, like orthopedic, like going to an orthopedic, shot, anything like that. She certainly didn't mention anything like surgery. I mean, she didn't mention going to an orthopedic at all. She said, okay, here's what we're going to do. Yeah. So that was this week. Glad to finally have the ball rolling on that though, for sure. I also this week, I am going to try not to talk about this forever, even though I literally could. And I apologize to any of you that are like in other spaces where I've already talked about this, like the Crafters Den Discord or, my Patreon or YouTube memberships, where I could happily wax poetic about my feelings on this dang video game forever. So last week I finished Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Words are hard. And it's just like, to overuse this phrase, I love this phrase, but like it altered my brain chemistry. This game was amazing. It was worth every single ounce of hype that it got. And if you're not a gamer, I'm really sorry. But just, if you've ever been really deeply moved by a story that you read in a book or saw in a movie, like, it was that level for me. The story, like the fact that it was in video game was just incidental almost. The story, the artwork, the original soundtrack, like this game was just a masterpiece from start to finish. And it ended, and I'm not going to obviously give any spoilers, but I have been unwell since I finished this game. I have been mainlining content about it, like YouTube interviews, like commentaries, deep dives, analyses, just pretty much nonstop for the past like 5 days. And Adam and I have been talking about it a ton because he actually completed it a couple of days before I did. And I can't get enough of this game. It was just absolutely magical. One of my favorite moments was I'd finished it. Again, this is not a spoiler at all, but finished it. I'm just sitting there speechless, trying to absorb what just happened. And as the credits are rolling, and it's, voice actor, voice credit and stuff. And just all of a sudden it pops up on the screen, this particular character. And I just had to like pause it and go, Adam, did you know that Andy Serkis was the voice of so-and-so in this game? And he was like, oh, I didn't, but now I hear it. And I just thought, they got Andy Serkis for this? This is the first game that this studio had ever made. Like, what the heck? So I think that this video game we'll see how I feel once I'm out of kind of the honeymoon phase of it all, like having, just freshly completed it. This may actually bump Mass Effect 2 out of the spot for like my top favorite video game of all time. There's layers upon layers upon layers to it. And every time I watch another video that like talks about, this theme or my favorite thing right now is everything regarding the original soundtrack, which one of you guys had specifically told me. A couple of you have commented on this. One of you had told me specifically, after you finish the game, go and look up more about this original soundtrack for this game and look up the translations from like the French into English. Don't do it before then, because if you do, it will spoil aspects of the game for you if you understand like what they're singing here, what they're saying. And so I did that, and I'm unwell. And I cannot get over how beautifully, masterfully done the soundtrack especially was. I don't know, it just takes me back to the kinds of things that made me fall in love with music in general. It made me want to go into music as a career, even though I ultimately didn't really. And I don't know, everything about it. And I'm gonna try to stop there, even though I literally could do like a whole WIP and Chat where I just talk about this freaking game and how much I loved it. But I will try to stop there. What I will say is that I don't normally feel this way, but I finished the game and I want to replay it. A lot of the game's story is a mystery, and you spend a lot of the game trying to figure out what's going on, trying to piece together little bits of information or hints that they give you, and trying to even, theorize and guess, like, what is this what does this mean? How's this going to play out? And then when you actually do see it play out, it's like, now I want to go back and play it again, because I want to see those threads. I want to pick up on all of the different hints and little things. And I just need to, like, I want to sit with the music even longer and just sit and appreciate it. Like, there's so much more to unpack that I think I'm going to go ahead and replay it. And I just don't know if I don't know. I'm going to be searching for another video game that lives up to this level. And I'm afraid that it doesn't exist. But if you guys have suggestions, please feel free to share. And if you are someone that is a gamer and has ever considered playing this game and been on the fence about it, it's only been out for a year. I think it just had its like 1 year anniversary of being released. So it's not like it's been out super long. And I know it can be really, really, really obnoxious when a ton of people are talking about a thing and being like, this is so awesome. OMG, you have to play this game or watch this show or see this movie. And a lot of times that makes me go, okay, I want nothing to do with that. This like tiny annoying hipster side of me comes out. And I'm like, too many people, just it's going to be overhyped. I'm good. I'm good. I wish that there were a way I could communicate to you how much this game is wonderful without having that unintended impact. But I was a little skeptical too. Because I had heard so much about it, and I was uncertain about playing it and thinking, is it really going to live up to all the hype? And it does. It really, really, really does. And I don't know if you're on the fence about it. If you have Xbox, if you have Game Pass, it's free on Game Pass. Like, what comes with Game Pass. So that was really, easy for us to do. We didn't have to, pay for it. So anyway, we're going to move on from talking about my video game. But I just thank you to everyone that recommended it to me and that has talked in the comments about it with me. And feel free to go off there as well. Yeah, it's going to occupy a lot of space in my brain for a while. So there was that. Other things that have been going on this week. We got to do lunch with a loved one at the kids' school last week, which is always a treat. Adam's dad came up. His mom had to work, but his dad came up and went with us. We actually had him surprise the kids. We didn't tell them that he was going to be there. He just was there when they came out for lunch, and they both were so excited. It was so cute. We got to go have lunch with them, and I really love the way that our school does it, which is it's not like a specific, parent named or grandparent named. It's a loved one, so that no matter what your family looks like or the work situation of your loved ones looks like, if whoever can make it to be a loved one for a kid for lunch, they can. And they also are really, I feel like, kind and very aware in the way that they have 2 separate days for it, and they try to split it and be like, if your last name starts with this, come on this day. If your last name starts with this, come on this other day. The idea being that by it happening over 2 different days, it's not glaringly obvious if there's a kid that no one was available to come to have lunch with them, and so no kid's going to feel left out or sad or lonely because half the kids that day aren't going to have their loved one there for lunch. And I just think that's a really thoughtful thing for the school to do. And I really, really do love our school and think that they are really wonderful people. And decisions like this, I think, are just a nice reflection of that. So it was a treat to get to see the kids. They do this a couple of times a year. We brought, Adam's dad picked up Raising Cane's for all of us for lunch, and yeah, got to spend some time with the kiddos this week. Scout has been up to his usual shenanigans. Thank you guys for your recommendations on how to handle his shedding. I did pick up one of the brushes that was recommended and took him outside yesterday or the day before to actually brush him, and oh my gosh, the brush did the trick. It didn't seem to bother him at all. He was kind of curious, like, what's this? What you doing? And I'm going to look into some like de-shedding shampoos, as long as it doesn't like irritate his skin. I'll maybe look into that a little bit. But just some of the brushes that you guys recommended, I looked into to see, okay, what looks like it might be a good fit for him. And I don't remember the name of the one that we got off the top of my head, but it seems to be working well. And yeah, hopefully will help. Especially, excuse me for yawning, especially as I think he is still shedding some of that wintry coat. He did, though. We're not totally sure what happened. We're keeping a pretty close eye on it. But he started favoring one of his paws a couple of days ago, and it doesn't seem to be at all tender to the touch. Like, he lets us look at it. He doesn't, appear to, he's not like expressing any pain or any specific spots being sensitive. So I wonder if he just maybe strained or pulled something. So I figure we'll give it maybe a couple of days as long as it doesn't get worse. And which I think it already is better today. He will put weight on it. He's acting completely normal, running, jumping, playing fetch and all that stuff. But just like if he's standing still, sometimes he's kind of like slightly lifting up that one back paw a bit. So we both went, don't love that, but we'll, I'm just thinking maybe he's just maybe pulled something slightly. So yeah, no visible like punctures or scrapes or anything like that. So hoping it's just a active puppy, stretch something maybe, but we'll keep a close eye on him. He's such a silly, goofy dog. He finally just settled down. I think he's just curled up next to Adam over there. Adam is his favorite. He's very sweet and affectionate with me and the kids, but Adam is just like top favorite. I joke that Adam lets him get away with murder sometimes. I'm like, he climbs all over you and does all this because I think in part because you let him. Like, I'm quicker to be like, okay, let's get down. No, you can't just be like on top of me all the time. I'm not mean to him, but like, I feel like I just draw some lines. I'm just like, you don't need to be licking my face. You don't need to be literally laying on top of me, like with your just completely blocking my face completely. Like, yes, let's cuddle up to me, please. But you don't have to be trying to merge with my body. He's like a toddler in that way. But he's just the sweetest and best dog. He and the cat get along so well. It's very big brother, little brother energy. The cat is the tolerant big brother, and Scout's the eager, like happy little brother. Skip is not like stressed out by him at all. He has plenty of safe places he can get away to when he wants like breaks from Scout's rambunctiousness. But for the most part, I think he likes, some of the attention from Scout, and they don't play a ton. Scout would love if Skip would play with him more. But for the most part, Skip's like, I'm afraid that it's just going to get too rambunctious for me if we're going to try to like really play. So, Yeah, so there's that. I also had the chance to go up to the school this week to help out with a fundraiser. I guess as kids go into sixth grade, there's a lot more fundraising that happens for things like a big class trip they do and other kind of specific events. And so they have a sixth grade chair on the position on the PTA that my dear friend Stephanie just stepped into. And I guess they start handing things off as it gets to the end of the fifth grade year. So the first one of the first fundraisers for our kids that are going to be going into sixth grade next year happened like the past week or two. And I was like, oh, this will be a really easy way for me to help and get involved since I know Stephanie. That removes sort of an unknown for me and makes it feel a lot less intimidating. So it was really easy for me to just text her and be like, I can come help. Just tell me when and where. I would love to come and be helpful. And yeah, it just knowing that I was going to know someone that was there and having someone that could like just answer my questions ahead of time so I knew what to expect. And that, yeah, all of that just made it feel a lot less intimidating. So it was nice to be able to go and help out. We did like a Dippin' Dots fundraiser, like selling Dippin' Dots to the kids at the end of the school day on Friday. And yeah, that was fun. And it was nice to kind of be involved and get to do something with Stephanie again. We had co-coordinated a MOPS group, which is Mothers of Preschoolers. We had like a group of 100-something moms in it. And for 3 years, we kind of coordinated, and it was a whole volunteer position it was a really special time in a lot of ways. We did this while having babies, but it was a lot of fun. And so this kind of reminded me just a little bit of that, like getting to that kind of thing. Yeah. Anyway, let's see. What have I been reading and watching and listening to? Reading wise, you guys, I have 3.5 hours left of listening to my audiobook for Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. I had basically asked my friend Kate, I was like, the Sanderlanche is coming, right? There's this stereotypical point in Brandon Sanderson's books that it's like the point of no return, where it just gets to a point in the book where then it's just going nonstop all the way to the end, and you're probably not going to want to put the book down because it's just going to have you in a chokehold. You're going to want to know what happens. And I just was like, oh, I don't know how this timing is going to work out. I don't know how much time I'm actually going to have to listen to my audiobook today. And so she had given me a heads up. She's like, it kind of starts around this chapter, and then this chapter is really the point of no return. So, I'm close to that. I'm just a couple of chapters away from that. And by the time I finish this video, I just don't think I don't have 3.5 hours to listen tonight before I'm going to need to go to bed. So I think I'm going to have to save it for tomorrow, but I'm going to finish it tomorrow. It's been really a very, very interesting book. As always, I'll keep it spoiler free, but I just am loving getting to spend time with these characters. And one of the things I've really enjoyed the most since the last time we talked about it, last week's WIP and Chat, is getting to see some of the different characters interact in really interesting ways and seeing what their dynamics are like. Brandon Sanderson, at least these books of his, I feel like it's common in a number of books that I've read from him, but he does POV shifts where different chapters might be from different characters' point of views. And often they're not even necessarily in this, like, anywhere near each other. But there's been some more overlap between certain characters and even certain chapters where the characters are together, but the chapter still changes POV. And that's been so interesting. I'm really enjoying how he sort of writes different characters' voices and how distinct they are. Like, they have such distinct flavors to them, such distinct personalities. If I say distinct one more time, I'm going to have to throw something. But yeah, getting to see some of the characters interacting, like finally overlapping after lots of chapters apart. or even just not spending a lot of time together in general. I've really enjoyed that a lot. And I'm so nervous for how this book is going to end. It's a fun experience to get to the end of a Brandon Sanderson book and just be holding on for dear life and just being like, all right, I'm here for the ride for however this goes, however my heart might get shattered into a million pieces, but also like amazing moments of triumph that'll be in the mix too. I'm looking forward to it, but I'm also scared. It's been a good book, and I'm planning to go right into the next one. I have an Audible credit, just waiting, just in case my Libby hold. I don't think my Libby hold is supposed to be up for the next book for like a couple more weeks. So this one might get an Audible credit. We'll see. So yes, that's all kinds of epic things. I did see, okay, I'm going to revisit Clair Obscur just one quick additional time. Brandon Sanderson fans, if you need a reason to be sold on it, on Clair Obscur, literally one of the game's head writer is a big Brandon Sanderson fan. And I feel like you see that in the flavor of Clair Obscur's story. Like the world building, just the sort of epic fantasy of it all in some ways, but then like the emotion that's tied and the heartbreak that's tied in there too. But that's all. I promise I won't keep going down that rabbit hole. Watching, aside from Clair Obscur videos, I've been enjoying seeing the different videos people have been doing in the diamond painting community, talking about how they're doing the 26 for 26 challenge. I've just found that really enjoyable to see how different people are approaching it, and seeing the different kits that they're gonna potentially work on. I love hearing from people about why they love the diamond paintings that they love, or why they've decided to work on certain kits. I just think that's really fascinating. It's like a little window into that person. And I enjoy that a lot. So that's been a lot of my watching lately has been related to that. And then listening to, I don't have anything super exciting on this front, but Kelly Clarkson keeps coming on the radio. We've been listening to the radio more often instead of just music that's on my phone. And Micah's digging Kelly Clarkson music, which I'm like, you got good taste, kid. I'm a fan. He liked My Life Would Suck Without You, came on the radio earlier, and he was all about it. It's like, this is a good song. I haven't heard this one in actually quite a while. So I am not mad. Yes, that's my reading, watching, listening to. How about you guys? Anything exciting and riveting for you this week that you want to share about? As far as what I have coming on the channel this week, we're at the end of the month. They're close to, so you'll be seeing some of the things that often pop up around the end of the month. I will probably have a month in review for you at the end of the week. I don't know if I'll have a DAC sneak peek. We'll see how that works out. Possibly a Pure Bliss Wax Company sneak peek to share with you. And I have a couple of things in hand from some new to me small shops. I'm going to see if I can squeeze in some of those unboxings this week as well before those get out of hand, potentially as more come in. But if you made it all the way to the end of this video, how about an emoji that reminds you of space in some way? I know we've done this one before, but I'm just blanking on another good one, and this particular kit being called Star Sailor seems like that could be a good fit. So yeah, feel free to let me know what you were working on today and how your current WIPs are going, if you're tackling the 26 for 26 challenge, and how that's been treating you. But we got a little bit of progress done on this section. I'm going to keep working away on this row. It's probably going to take me a couple of days to get through this row. These are kind of big sections, and there is a decent amount of confetti, but it's coming together. So anyway, you guys, no complaints about any of the accessories. These all worked great. The wax, the putty, the tray, and the pen, 10 out of 10s all around. Subscribe, you guys, if you're not already subscribed. I would love to have you here as part of my community, and you'll see these weekly WIP and Chats. I'll have a WIP and Chat playlist linked below if you want to go watch any of my others. Put it on for background noise and company while you're crafting or getting stuff done. I also do unboxings and reviews from a variety of different companies and other diamond painting related videos like how-tos and tutorials. Either way though, you guys, thank you for spending some time with me today. I hope you are doing very, very well and have a wonderful week. Happy crafting. I will talk to you in the next one. Bye, guys.